So for better or worse, I think I've figured out melee in Titanic Scion. Let's talk about it. Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So I hesitate to say that I have an overall build together here for you guys, but I'm gonna go over the build that I've been using, going through the story and what I've figured out. This has actually massively changed from what I was doing last night after testing out a couple of things to what it has become now, because wow. There are a lot of things I really just didn't understand when it came to this game, and we're going to talk about them now. So to start things off, we're going to go over our mutations. So this is going to pretty much center around one skill, which is going to be limit change. Limit change is going to drain our VP, but in exchange, we get a boost to all of our stats. We also get a maximum dodge and vulnerability. We get maximum stagger resistance. And we also don't consume any stamina. We get basically infinite stamina. In exchange, our VP starts draining, and once it hits 1, this ends. You can't toggle it off. The only way you can get rid of it is either VP hits 1 or you go back to base. Now, this is going to be very, very helpful with spamming a lot of our skills, as skills take stamina and femto, and this is going to basically take care of the stamina situation for us while also giving us a little boost to damage. So it'll be really, really nice to be able to spam our skills consistently. And the VP situation can actually be offset by item usage, can be offset by skills you bring along with you. So you can bring things like devotion to heal yourself. You can bring things like splendor to toss on the ground and stand in. You can find crates around the arena. You can take a healing shot. That's a thing as well, apparently, that you can shoot on the ground and you can heal. And so you can fight against this VP drain. You cannot stop the VP drain until it hits 1 or you go back to base. Now with that, we're going to be taking the skill Combo Thrust. I saw Combo Thrust originally. I thought this was going to be kind of stupid, and I'm finding out it kind of is. But it isn't as strong as one might think, depending upon the circumstances. So Combo Thrust, essentially what it allows you to do is you can just hold it and spam stab over and over again. So this is like ideal with weapons like Laser Blade and Knuckles. Use it with Lance as well. They showed off with the Lance. But Laser Blade is really nice in situations where your physical damage is not really great. And Knuckles is just insanely fast. I've seen some crazy clips of people absolutely decimating things with this stab, which looks like they're just machine gun punching over and over again, which is hilarious. Other weapons do, of course, work. I'm sure there's other niche weapon setups you can use. Keep in mind, this does reduce the amount of damage, the individual damage your weapon does, in exchange for attacking over and over and over and over again. And once you let go, it does one final big hit. So it is very, very useful, and it is going to be part of what we're going to be using, but it's not going to be our only skill. In testing, I found that Daemon Slash on Itachi that you optimally set up with the proper distance and have access to a weak spot is actually crazy powerful. So Daemon Slash is a skill you get from the boss, from Yaiba essentially, or from his clones, using the factor. It's just a 10 version of this factor. Using that factor, you're able to get Daemon Slash level 1. I haven't got the higher levels of it yet because I haven't farmed it out, but we will eventually. But essentially, this just allows you to have a shockwave slash every time you swing. The thing about this shockwave slash is it doesn't stop you from swinging normally. As you can see, this is just the standard combo you would use with Itachi. If you're using the Soryu, it does its full attacks, like it's dual wielded attacks, meaning that not only are you hitting with the Itachi, you're hitting with the Daemon Slash as well. And the cool thing about the Soryu is it has some pretty high crit magnification, meaning if you're attacking within the range when you start your combo, your entire combo is a crit. Now granted, Daemon Slashes aren't crits, but the entire regular combo is a crit, which does some absolutely ludicrous amounts of damage when you're able to set it up just right. Now, being within your critical range is kind of a pain in the ass. For crit, just to kind of explain how that works, weapons have a critical range, or I think it's mostly melee. I haven't looked at ranged weapons, I apologize. But melee weapons have a critical range, and if you start your combo from that range, all of your attacks are crits. So if you look at something like Soryu, let me go over to its critical range. Right now, mine's 5.77 to 9.68. What that means is as long as I attack within this critical range, I'm going to get increased damage. Now, I believe this is usually 6 to 9, I want to say, without my attachments on here. Let me go ahead and go to my attachment. I might actually switch this out for critical magnification. Yeah. So it's like 100. It's just a massive amount of damage overall, right? Like it's ludicrous amounts of damage. that you get, because you get the critical magnification damage as long as you're within the critical range when you start your combo, which is not that difficult to do when a target's knocked down or when you have access to its weak point. Now, if we can get our critical range down to like 1, that's going to be crazy. But we'll have to try out that, later on in our actual testing. Basically, what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to be able to use our daily driver, just the Soryu, along with our weapon that we're going to be using for most of our boss damage, breaking things, dealing as much damage as possible, which in this case is going to be our laser sword. Again, you can use a knuckle. There's other options you can use as well. If you use a laser weapon, keep in mind that you're going to be burning through your femto substantially harder. So it's a good idea to keep in mind a weapon that doesn't have really hardcore femto correction. In my situation, I'm using Butterfly Glow, but if we look at Butterfly Glow, we can see that its lowest femto correction is at 50%, but its femto correction boost is 1.2, meaning that the amount of damage you get for being over 50% is an extra 20%. If I look at something like, go on down to Baldur's Edge. Baldur's Edge has a 1.5 femto correction boost, meaning I get extra 50% damage boost essentially, as long as I'm over 75% femto, which is worse, meaning I have less amount of femto that I can stay above to be able to do that extra amount of damage. This is really good for like just swinging it basically to deal damage, but not good for spamming skills. So you can have more than one, right? Like, so you have, Baldur's Edge on one side, and then the other weapon, I can't remember off the top of my head, the Butterfly Glow on the other side. You can switch between the two of them if you absolutely want to. As you can see, its critical range is also just better. It just does less critical damage. But it's one of those situations where you kind of have to decide what you want to go for. I went with Butterfly Glow primarily just because it looked cooler. That's really the only reason I chose it, but your choice on weapon might vary. Let's talk about the non-negotiables. Satellite Shield is busted. So what Satellite Shield actually does is it blocks incoming damage from all areas, all around you, from your left, your right, from above you. In some cases from below you I've found, but I usually am grounded, so that's not usually an issue. But it blocks incoming damage. These are laser shots, these are regular bullet shots, but where it's absolutely goated is it takes care of the major issue I have with melee in this game. When you are attacking a big target up close, they can flail around or they can charge, and they will deal massive damage to your VP. Satellite Shield will block it. As long as you're not stunned, it will block it. It'll cause you to block the incoming damage. It's not perfect, of course. If you're taking a bunch of damage from different areas, you're being attacked from a weird angle, sometimes damage will get through. But in most situations, you're just going to do like a block animation. It's going to interrupt your combo that you're attacking or whatever, and you won't take any VP damage, which is massive for melee. The major problem is, as you can see, its memory consumption is ludicrously high. So the lower you can get this number, the better. If you have any slots, I would highly recommend putting memory consumption down specifically on this slot, because it's percentage based and it's going to bring down the amount of memory you're using by a dramatic amount. So I would highly recommend, highly, getting a slot on this, putting memory consumption down as much as possible on it. We're also taking a devotion. You can choose to take a splendor. I take a devotion because it's easy to use. It's 1/3 of my HP. It's 4,500, I believe. Yeah, 4,500, 9 uses. Pretty solid. If you get slots in here, just increase the amount of HP recovery you get. Pretty standard. I'm not sure if you can increase your total ammo at all, but recovery just makes it easy for you. Tossing something like, memory down on that, not really worth, as again, it's percentage based. It's not really going to work well for you. The other non-negotiables when it comes to armor you're looking at are going to be the Explorer arms. The Explorer arms are going to give you brawling proficiency, and you really, really want this. This is the highest you can get, I have found personally. There might be better ones in endgame, so you're just looking for brawling proficiency. That's your primary goal here. Getting defenses is nice too, but that's like your primary thing is just brawling proficiency. That's all you really care about. The next choices, you need to kind of figure out how you want to balance yourself. So I opted for speed legs to be able to run fast across the ground because it just felt good to do. Has decent jump height. I can run super quickly. I'm not really reliant on my femto charge nearly as much in combat, and I can kind of make easy movements that I need to make on the ground to be able to get to weak spots you're not always able to get to. The other option is you can go with heavier legs. In that situation, you want to go with something that's going to give you more memory capacity. And then if you like to fly around a lot, then you go with a lighter chest. In my case, I went heavier chest for memory capacity, and this is where you would slot in things like your memory capacity ups, because it's percentage based. You want to slot it into your chest, and you would slot in speed into your legs for more ground speed if I had slots available. If you're doing the opposite way, if you choose to go flight personally, then I'd recommend going with a lighter chest slotting in flight up in your chest piece, and then in your legs you would slot in something like your memory capacity up. Like that's where you put that instead. So just decide what you like to do. I personally like to run across the ground easier so I can get to, it's more finite movement. I find the flying is just a little floaty, which is haha, it's flying, of course it's floaty, but I find that it kind of moves me in ways I don't really want to be, and I have to be very specific about like my range when it comes to getting into the weak spot range. So that's just me personally. That's how I decided to go about it, but it's up to you ultimately. And then helmet, I would look into something that has pretty decent femto efficiency, just because you're going to burn through femto depending upon your playstyle. So decent femto efficiency is nice. Stamina efficiency is not really that important, but it's still nice to have. These are kind of like the two primary like things you're gonna be looking for. Lock-on range isn't super important, but it's not bad. And the rest is like your shield's gonna cover most of what you need, so you'll be okay to go. Decent VP is also nice to have. And of course, memory capacity, you have to have enough memory to be able to use it. So keep an eye on your memory capacity. This is just what I happen to use, and it worked well for me. But you can kind of adjust it based on where you are in the story, right? If you're at earlier portions of the story and you're trying to do something similar to this build, I would recommend something like maybe using the emergency dodge, toggling on and off until you're able to get to the bosses that we're fighting. And as soon as you're able to get the freaking satellite shield, use it. It is absolutely amazing. So definitely recommend going and toss that in. That's it for the gear. Let's go and talk about how you can get the factors if you need to. So if you're trying to get, you actually get limit charge and combo thrust at the same time. So in the mountains, if you actually go over here, teleport this area, and then in this area right here is going to be a boss. Fight that boss, grab his factor. And then if we head over here, if you're already past this point in the story, which I imagine you are if you're watching this video, Rex's factor. Those two factors together will give you exactly what you're looking for. You'll be able to get combo thrust level 3, as well as getting limit charge, or limit change, excuse me, level 3. So you can take care of both of those. Very easy, very straightforward. Now, if you're just concerned with the build and what I did, that's it. That's it for the build overall. That's how you can get the things you want to get. And of course, you can make the adjustments that you want to make personally on your own. Let's look at actually using the build. So for proof of concept, we're going to bully Gearworm first. I always take Forge and Iris. Iris is actually pretty nice to have because she can run over and just heal you, which would be helpful for dealing with the VP drain. And most allies don't really do a ton of damage anyway. So just having Forge for the extra item he can grab at the end of the fight is kind of nice to have. So
why come here just to be slain?
As you can see,
it's a mystery
that just, oh yeah, actually he got through that time. Yeah, every once in a while it's gonna get through, and every other time that I've shown this, I've actually lucked out and his first attack's been blocked, but not always the case. You can see, there we go, my shield is blocking his attack. Let's go ahead and pop this here. We're actually gonna go ahead and pop a attack up as well for fun, and then we're just gonna stab him. And there's not really much you can do about this.
You lack the conviction to stand before me.
Time to go on.
And just keep on holding it. And then he's running off. Back to stabbing again. He's gonna run around the field a lot and do his thing. We're mostly ignoring the fire, not too concerned with it, because he jumps right past it most of the time.
Still in this.
You can see our shield is blocking all of those attacks anyway.
Right? We've got this.
Go back to stabbing again. We've stunned him again.
The audacity.
Just keep on stabbing. And you can see he does melee attack every once in a while. That time we actually did get the block there. And he does melee attack every once in a while, but our shield took care of it. Our shield's taking care of the incoming attacks as well.
You lack the conviction to stand before
And that's it. He's dead.
I almost had a heart attack.
We actually had pretty unlucky that time around too, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna send that to Hanger so we can sell it later. And that one went pretty smooth overall. I'm gonna show a fight against the deer, which is really, really annoying, honestly. Probably one of the more annoying fights. But the deer we actually do want to fight because we do need its factor. So we'll go ahead and show off a fight against him. And I'll probably die because I get impatient and don't want to deal with him. But you can shred him pretty heavily with the Tachi. So you'll actually be able to see a little bit of that. Goal here, we're going to try to knock him down first. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pop this. Oh, I want to make sure you hold this, by the way. Fall over? Yes, he did. Okay. He fell over, so he's not moving. I can get a decent lock on his neck. There it goes. Now, you can start stabbing. And the goal is to break it. Now, you see, we can still get stunned. That is going to happen occasionally.
You're still
okay,
good,
we're good.
right? We've got this.
You can see our shield took care of his charge, which is nice. And trying to get around to the right spot is a pain in the ass. So you want to make sure you're doing your best to pop your devotions during any downtime you might have. Or sometimes just stop the pop devotion, honestly. Like, it sucks to have to stop attack, but it's better than just randomly dying. Pop a heal, pop a buff too.
Yeah, back off. Ha! Don't push yourself. I'm here too.
All right.
I kind of hate how the attack buffs work in this game. As you can see, as you hit, you drain your attack buff, which is kind of lame. You usually want to pop it only in situations where you're trying to push damage a lot, or in situations where you're attacking a weak spot. So let's go ahead and aim for that that spot on the neck again. We're trying to break this open. What this does is next time he uses laser, his weak spot will stay open.
You're still good, right?
Pop devotion again.
I'm still in this.
I'm just gonna keep on stabbing this spot. Just until he does his laser. Pop another devotion to heal ourselves up.
Right.
Come on, open up. Our shield's taking care of most of his flailing, which is nice.
Talk about playing rough.
We're low on femto, so we'll just go ahead and, like I said, our grounded speed's really nice, so we can just run around pretty easily. We'll go ahead and collect our femto. We're not really worried about incoming damage because our shield is usually going to take care of it for us. It isn't perfect. Sometimes we will still take damage. We haven't even opened up his... I think... did he do his laser yet? No, he still hasn't his laser. A little RNG, unfortunately. You can opt to go in, like, res people and stuff like that, too. We're just waiting for him to laser anyway, so we'll just res Iris.
Don't count me out yet.
Come on. There we go. And I think I'm going to cut until he actually opens up his weak spot, because this is kind of annoying. And of course, the time I want to show this off is where he's going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, it took a while, but he finally decided to open up his core, which is nice. So now we can just slash it infinitely with our Itachi. Now, we're going to also be grounded a bit, and we get into... Oh, there it goes. There's our critical range. As you can see, we can absolutely shred him for a full combo. Now, we're just going to keep on going, because he's still on the ground. And the damage is still pretty decent, too.
Really? You're gonna be the death of me.
We'll go ahead and
We've got this.
we'll pop a medium heal. Now what we're looking to do is get within crit range as much as we can. It's not gonna be perfect. It's really kind of hard to do against this guy. And you want to keep an eye out for like a number that unfortunately moves a lot with him. If it was like on your HUD, it'd be great. But as you can see, it's right below him, like where his name is out there. I'm looking for that to be between 9 and 5.
Watch it.
Don't go overboard.
But it's kind of difficult to hit that sweet spot, which we got at that time. But he doesn't always stay here, so. Now what you can do is you can also just go for his legs to knock him down. It makes it a little easier for you. As you can see, this just absolutely shreds him. And it's not super hard on your femto either. Now you can also break his horn, rip it off, and then slap him in the weak spot with it, which is actually not a bad idea too. But I want to show off the weapons themselves specifically. I'd recommend doing that if you don't,
We've got this.
if you haven't gotten the factors you need yet. Let's do a half heal again.
All right.
Brace yourself.
Fun fact, our shield can also block that laser, so it's fine. You can also just spam, honestly. Like, the damage is going to be there regardless. You want that weak point damage, but not attacking at all is actually worse. So, you're hitting so many numbers as it is. you're still going to shred them pretty decently. And when you can get those weak spots, it's going to be real nice. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for critical, increasing my critical range in endgame. The fact you can use a healing item while you're stunned is really nice, by the way. Now let's get back to range. Oh. Dodge a little bit, get into range, and then there. Oh, we're just a little bit out. As you can see, the minimum range you can have is 1. So if you can get into range of weak spot, you can absolutely shred them.
Don't go overboard.
Like I said, you've always have the option of going the route of just knuckle punching to death.
I can't fall here.
You should die here. Yep. This is one of the more annoying bosses to fight on melee. This weak spot's not a really good spot for you. I mean, maybe there's a situation where it's easier if you're smacking them with a heavy hammer, but that's just not the build that I personally was going for. So we'll grab another one of these, but make sure you grab the factor, of course, and that's basically it. Hopefully this gives you guys an idea of how you can look towards building. At the end of the day, the big thing is going to be just limit change, devotion, and the shield. And then, of course, having your arms taken care of, and everything after that is pretty much up to you. You can optimize however you'd like to. If you decide to go like heavyweight with a mace, maybe there's a skill you want to go ahead and spam with that mace. Just keep in mind that you want to go ahead and go with weight. Weight does increase the damage of maces and things of that sort. So I would say go that route. Maybe you want to go the route of the two-handed sword and you want to try spin to win. That's also an option that's available to you. That does usually drain stamina and femto, but you can just have limit change available and then have it spam. So that is also an option as well. Let me know what you guys are doing in your builds. I'm actually curious to see what other melee players are doing as well. And yeah, if there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. You guys are fantastic, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.